Good evening. Welcome to Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger, Director of Music Ministry. This is our Music Minute, taking a look at the hymns we'll be using in worship tomorrow for the first Sunday in Advent, the start of the church year. And we're going to start with our hymn of the day, Hark, a Thrilling Voice is Sounding. This is an anonymous Latin text. It's amazing how many of these hymns that we talk about have this anonymous origin. Anonymous Latin text, and every single line of this text can be traced back to a passage from Scripture, if not a direct quote from Scripture itself. It starts with the same musical triad as Wacht auf, which is the Wake Awake that we did just a couple of weeks ago. So you'll hear that same triad being done at the beginning. And the tune was written and paired with the text together, so it was meant to go with this, and it has stuck ever since its creation. This is Hark, a Thrilling Voice is Sounding. So you might have had to look and listen very closely to get the melody, and that is drawn out with longer notes than we would be actually singing in the hymn. Next, we're going to move to our gathering hymn. That's Rejoice, Rejoice, Believers, very popular Advent hymn. This is a hymn of rejoicing at the bridegroom's coming. It goes with Matthew 25, and the first time we saw this, it was appearing in German. So the first one was Latin, this one's German. It had 10 stanzas, and as always, we don't sing all of them. And the tune is a Swedish folk melody. So we got a whole all different realms here. This could be seen as too repetitive by some, is what they say, but it's a dance that kind of makes it bounce and keeps it alive. So I think it's a great one. Rejoice, rejoice, believers. We're going to go over to the piano for this one. Recognize that? Almost like a dance, right? All right, so next we'll go to one that may not be quite as familiar to you, but we've done it before. Change My Heart, O God. This is for communion. And this is actually almost in the form of Taizé, which is that repetitive pattern that you can sing often without music or words in front of you because it's easy to pick up and just the repetition is so easy. This is based on passages from Isaiah and Jeremiah, so we're back to the Old Testament with this one. Espinosa, who wrote this, did so on his way to work, and he never intended for anybody else to hear what he was writing and thinking in his head. But the following week, he sang it at a home communion, and word of that got back to the pastor at the church where he was, and so the next week it was asked, would you please do this at the church? So he did, and lo and behold, this is what came out. It was originally written in English, but it does have a Spanish translation as well. You might have guessed from the Espinosa name. This is Change My Heart, O God. You can hear a little bit of the Spanish influence in the music there too. All right, last but not least is the sending hymn. This is Soon and Very Soon. And this is a gospel song, which you probably know from Andre Crouch. It was written in 1976. And many of these passages are also related to biblical references, mostly from Revelation. And he wrote the text and the tune for this. So repetition, and this one is a good thing as well, because it makes it a fairly easy congregational sing, and one that many, many like. So this is Soon and Very Soon. So sing on out tomorrow and have a little movement in your singing as well. So thanks again for joining this evening for this first Sunday of Advent as we get ready to start the church year and wait the coming of Christ. Very special time of the year. If you're coming in person tomorrow, 8:30 and 11 here in the sanctuary, and the 11 o'clock service, as always, will be live streamed on our YouTube channel. Thanks again for Thanks again for coming in tonight and sharing this time with us. See you next week.